So good morning students. Here today I am going to start a new chapter, that it is principles of inheritance and variation. So let's see here. It is the chapter number 5. And the genetics. What is the unit means? That is the unit 2. It is genetics. Okay. Under that, what is the name of the chapter means? Principles of inheritance. Principles of inheritance and variation. Okay, so this is the name of this chapter. Okay, so here altogether the genetics, in which there are 3 chapters: principles of inheritance and variation, molecular basis of inheritance, and one more, evolution. Altogether this unit will ask for 25 marks. How much? 25 marks. From this chapter for theory exam will be asked for 16 marks. Okay. So here today we will continue with this chapter, that it is the principles of inheritance and variation. So before going to that, basically, in general, first we will talk about the introduction. Okay. In the part introduction, have you are living in an environment, okay, where you will see a variety of living organisms, okay, where, for example, elephant will give birth to the baby elephant. Yes. Then lion will give birth to the lion. Why not elephant will give birth to the lion? Why not lion will give birth to the baby elephant? This is one question which will arise in your mind. For example, one more example. This is about the animals. If you take one example of plant, for example, that is the mango tree. Mango tree will give the mango only. This mango tree will not give the papaya. Whether a mango tree will give the papaya? No. Mango tree will give or will form the what? That it is the mango. Okay, they will form the seed. That seed will be forming a mango. This is the question. Why not the mango tree will give rise to the papaya, or why not that particular specific plant will give rise to some other fruit or some other food? Okay. Why? What is the question here means? That only we have to see in this chapter. Due to the presence of genes. Okay. See, elephant will have a genes. That genes are going to transfer to the next generation. That the baby elephants. This is the next generation. Or baby elephant, we can call it as the offspring. So this elephant, along with some other, if this is the female elephant, they will mate with the male elephant and they will produce their child. And that child will be somewhat similar to their parents. Some similarities will be there, some dissimilarities will be there. Some characters will be similar and some characters will be dissimilar. One more example here I will take. family is there. In the family, this is the father, this is the mother. Means they are the parents. Father and mother. They have the two children. One is girl, another is boy. With them, they have the two children. So we will take some characters. Characters, morphology, external characters we will take. Okay, such as father. Two characters we will take here. Father hair color is brown. This is what? This is the hair color. What is the hair color of father? That is brown. What is the hair type? Here it is curly hair. Of whom? Of the father. Okay. Then he get married to the mother. Mother's hair color is black. What is the hair type? Here it's curly, means here it's a silky. Okay, so these are the two characters which is concerned with the hair. Okay, father will have the curly hairs and brown in color. Mother which have the black color hairs which are silky. Okay, so here listen here carefully. The girl, first baby will be the girl child. The girl will have the brown color hair, and what is the hair type is? It will be the silky. And the boy, male child, here the hair color will be the black, and the hair type it will be the curly. You see here, brown and curly, these are the two features of father. Black color hair and silky hair are the two features of mother. Okay, if they both gets mated or married, so their next generation, this is the next generation. Next generation means their children's. Children's we can say it as the offsprings. Further I will tell you about the offspring. So there, whatever the next generation a parents are going to produce means, to them we can call it as the offsprings. Okay, so here the girl, in girl the character brown, that is coming from the father. Brown color hair are coming from where? From the father, because it's a feature of whom? Of father. And here silky type of hair, it's coming from mother, because the parents, here I will show you why. You will see the characters are going to mixed up. What is the reason is, for example, here the parents, this is the gamete of male and this is the gamete of female. Gamete means these are the cells. What they are? These are the cells. Okay, that cells will have the genetic material. What they have? They have the genetic material. So that genetic material, what it will be means, it will be chromosomes. In that chromosomes, there will be presence of genes. Here, otherwise I will write here. You see, the parents will be there. The parents, the father will produce the gametes. See here, this is the father, and this is the mother. What will be the gametes they are going to produce? Here the father will produce the sperm and mother will produce the ova. Okay, so these gametes, what they are? These are the cells. What they are? These are the cells. As you had already studied in first PU cell, the structure and functional unit of life. Okay, in that chapter you had studied about the nucleus. in which there will be presence of chromosomes. In that chromosomes, there will be presence of what? Genes. First of all, the cells will have the genetic material. What is that genetic material means? That it will be the chromosomes. And in that chromosome, what it will be there? That it is the genes. What it will be there? That it is the genes. Okay. So here, the genes are the units of heredity. Okay. What are the genes? The genes are the units of heredity. Here I will write. Genes are the units of heredity. Okay. Heredity means what? Heredity means some of the characters are going to transfer from one generation to another generation. As you can see, this is one generation and this is the next generation. Their characters are transferring from their parents to their children. Parents is one generation and children are another generation. So that is going to transmit from their parents to the next generation or the offspring. So that process of transferring the characters from one generation to another generation, that we can call it as the heredity. How it is going to transfer? Through the genes. Because the sperm and ova, these are the cells. They have their own genetic material. Means they have the genes. What they have? They have the genes which are going to transfer to the next generation. Okay. So here, due to which you can see, first of all, in heredity or whatever the process you hear, what you are seeing, the parents are undergoing into a process of sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means fusion of two gametes. That is male gamete sperm and the female gamete, that is the ova. So here, in that, what happens? The genes, the cells are going to fuse. If cells are going to fuse, then nucleus is also going to fuse. During fertilization, here you see, this is the sperm and this is the ova. And this is the nucleus of sperm and this is the nucleus of ova. Not only the cells are going to fuse, but their nucleus, this is also going to fuse in the resulting cell, that is the zygote. If their nucleus are going to fuse, means their genetic material also gets mixed up. Okay, so their genes are also going to mixed up over here. So here you see, the father is going to, what is the character? Brown color, which you can see in the girl child. Okay, this character or the gene responsible for brown color hair coming from the father, and the gene responsible for silky type of hair is coming from the mother, because they have undergone a process of sexual reproduction. The next you come to the boy child, where black color is the feature of mother and curly hair is the feature of father. Okay, so this is what? This is about this. Why I am explaining all these things means, this means the heredity, or one more thing, that it is the inheritance. What it is? Inheritance. Inheritance means the same thing. Transfer of genes or the characters from one generation to another generation. That we can call as the inheritance or the heredity. Who is responsible for such type of transformation? That it is the genes. Genes in the form of characters, they are going to what we call, they are going to see in the next generation. Okay, so now next term, have you, this is about one family. If this, see here, if this father has brother, okay, Okay, if this father has the brother, this brother gets married with some other lady, their wife, brother's wife. Okay, then they are going to produce the children, such as a boy, girl child and a boy. And this brother will have the same brown color hairs and black tie, sorry, black color hairs and curly hairs. He got married with a lady that she has a brown hairs, brown and curly hairs. Okay, so here the father and their brother, that means the uncle, they belong to a same ancestor. Ancestor means that is the same parent. Yes, sir. They both belong to the same parent. The characters of the hairs, that is, here you see the curly hairs, which is similar in both the brothers. Okay, so these curly hairs, which are similar in both the brothers, you can see in the siblings. Siblings or the cousins. Here, this girl and this boy, they are the cousins or the siblings, what we call. They both are similar. In one or the other way, you are not only there in your relatives, whatever your auntie's child or your uncle's child, whatever the cousin sister, cousin brothers will be there. In one or the other way, they will be having a similar character as you, because you both belong to the common ancestor. Common ancestor means grandparents are common. Their characters are inheriting in us. Their characters are inheriting in us. Okay, so all this process is known as the inheritance. What it is known as? Inheritance. So, why this inheritance is going to take place? All these things we will study in this chapter. In this chapter, first I had told you the unit name is genetics. First we will see that one. What do you mean by genetics here? So all these things, why the characters are going to transfer from one generation to another, all these things we will study in a topic that is the genetics. See, yeah. Next one. What do you mean by the genetics? This term is related with the genetic material. So just now I had explained to you what do you mean by inheritance. So this is genetics is the branch of biology. It is the branch of biology which deals with the biology which deals with the study of inheritance, and variations. Okay, It is the branch of biology which deals with the study of inheritance and variation. Till now we had studied about the inheritance. Then what do you mean by variation? Let's see about that one. What do you mean by the term variation? First I will write the definition of inheritance. Inheritance. Inheritance means transfer of genes. Transfer of genes or characters from one generation to another generation. That is the what? That is the inheritance. One more term here they had given the variations. So here, what do you mean by variation means? It is the difference in characters, between the individuals of common descent or common ancestor. Okay. See, just now I explained about the inheritance, where the genes are going to transfer from parents to next generation. Okay. Then, what do you mean by variation? Here you see one example I have shown you that it is about the hair color and hair type, where father, mother. Here it is curly and brown. In short, I will write. Here it is curly and brown. One more, that it is mother, silky and black. Okay. In the next generation, we will found the girl child. First, we will take the girl child. Girl will have a black color hair and silky hair. See, if you see the father, it's curly and brown. If you see the mother, silky and black. And they are going to produce the exact copies of them. That means the clones. If they are going to produce the exact copies of their parents, they are known as the clones. So that you can see in the lower animals and in the plants. In plants, we can call it as the vegetative propagation. So all that things you had studied there. But here, the inheritance and variation is concerned with sexual reproduction, not with the asexual reproduction. Because in asexual reproduction, single parent is involved. In sexual reproduction, as you can see, two parents are involved. Okay, so that's why here, if organism undergoing into a sexual reproduction, then you can see the inheritance and variation. Inheritance, just like that, variation means it is somewhat differences you can see. Here itself you can see this girl is not at all similar to the father, not at all similar to the mother. Not only in this character, but if you see some other character also, that characters will be not exactly similar, or that particular girl is not exact like their parents. Why? Because there is an exchange of genetic material in between the parents. Okay. So see here, what is the meaning of variation? Means difference in characters. Okay, difference in characters. You can see the difference in characters between the individuals of common ancestor. Common ancestor means here we have taken the girl child. One more, that is a boy child. which will be having a black color and curly hairs. Okay, so they both are not at all similar. Yes, sir. They both are totally different from their parents. Ancestor means that is the parents. If we are staying in one home, we belong to one family. In our family also, if we are two brothers and two sisters, all of the four will be differing in one or the other character. We four cannot match or exactly similar to each other. We are totally different. Why? Because the genes are different for differing in different offspring. Okay, so that process of differences between the individuals of the same parents or the same ancestor, that we can call it as the variation. So all these things we have to, why the variation is going to take place, why the inheritance is going to take place, all these things we have to study here. See, first one more thing, variation is the degree by which progeny differs from their parents. One more point for the variation, it is the degree, by which progeny differs from their parents. Okay, so see here, it is one of the degree or one of the point where the progeny means offspring, children are different from their parents. Okay, the next we will go for the next introduction part. Next, see, human beings came into evolve, that is around 8,000 to 10,000 BC. Okay, here you see, human came into existence, or we know the human beings means human knows, or else you can also write came into existence from which time means that is around 8,000 to 10,000 BC. Okay, so from that time, one causes of variation. See here, what is the cause for variation? Variation means changes between the individuals of the which belongs to the same parents. If they are belonging to the same parents, means they should be similar. Why not they are similar? Why there is a difference? Okay, causes for variation. This is hidden in sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Where it is hidden or where it is associated. This variation is associated with sexual reproduction. How means, as I told you, sperm and ovum. These are the two cells. They have their own nucleus, their genetic material. For example, this is one chromosome of the male and this is the another chromosome of the female. Okay. during sexual reproduction, they will combine. They will combine and they are going to form a common whatever the chromosome for the next cell. That is for the zygote. So some part here I will explain. This is a chromosome of male sperm. Okay. This is the chromosome of male and this is the chromosome of female. These are two chromosomes, male and this is the female. This chromosome is present in the sperm and this chromosome is present in the ova. When they will get fused, what happens in the genetic material or in the chromosome means the chromosome of male gets paired with the female like this. What it will? They will get pairs or they will get this process we can call it as the recombination. Okay. So here this is the male chromosome where a segment where the female chromosome is going to overlap, that segment is going to exchange like this. Okay. Exchanged with the female chromosome in this way. Some part or some genes are going to exchange with the female and some genes are going to exchange with the male. Okay, in the next generation, how will be the chromosome? Like this, with the exchanged part. Such parts are exchanging means that chromosome will have the genes. Okay, in this region, whatever the genes will be there, that is going to inherit it to the next generation. Okay, during sexual reproduction, recombination of genes will take place. Then that chromosomes are going to separate it. And that chromosomes are inherited or genes are inherited to the next generation, in which the characters are exchanged between the male and the female gametes, due to which you can see the variation. When the variation is going to occur, when there is an sexual reproduction is going to take place. This type of variation you cannot see in the sexual reproduction. Why? Because there is an involvement of only one parent. Okay, there is no recombination of chromosome, there is no mating of such type of chromosomes or pairing of chromosomes, due to which there is no exchange of the genes. So this is the cause for what? For the variations. So here variations are naturally present in the wild animals, plants, in human beings, in all organisms which will undergo into the sexual reproduction. In them you can see the variation. One more example I will tell, that it is about the Indian cattle. You are already familiar with that names. You had already studied in the strategies in enhancement and food production. So here, wild cows. Okay, wild cows, and one of the wild cows are Indian breed of cattle. Example is Sahiwal cows in Punjab. Sahiwal cows in Punjab. This is one example of what? Of cattle. Okay. See, Sahiwal cows in Punjab, they have some characters, such as they are red in color. One more example we can take, that is red Sindhi. Red Sindhi means their color is red in color. Punjab Sahiwal means their color is brown in color. We can recognize them. They both are cattle. Sahiwal also, red Sindhi also. If you take more example, Halikar is there, then many are there. Okay. So here, what I am telling means, they both are cattle, but the characters are different. Okay, but their characters will be differing from each other. That's why they are named with the different names. Okay, so this is the reason there are many varieties of animals, plants. So they have their own characters. They have their own identification. Why? Because they are that identification, that characters they are getting from their parents. Parents are the ancestors. Okay, so that that characters they are going to inherit to the next generation. Okay, so this is all the about the introduction part. Next, here one scientist was there whose name is Mendel, Gregor Mendel. Okay, so he has worked on what? On the genetics. On that time, it was not known what he meant by genetics. After his work, whose that is on the that is of the Mendel's, Gregor Mendel's. After his work, we came to know about the genetics. Okay, so let's see Mendel's work. Mendel's work. Mendel's work or Mendel's experiments. So in the year 1856, Gregor John Mendel, in the year 1856, full name of the Mendel is Gregor John Mendel. Okay, become famous for his work. What was his work? In a series of breeding experiments to study plant heredity, became famous for his work. Breeding experiments to study breeding experiments to study plant heredity in garden pea plant. In which plant? That is in garden pea plant. He had conducted a series of experiments by breeding the plants. Okay, and what is the heredity? Which characters are going to pass from one generation to another generation? And which plant he has selected? That it is the garden pea plant. Okay, green color pea will be there. That plant he has selected. The scientific name for this pea plant is the Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum. So about these things I will explain in the why he has selected what is the next topic? That it is the, we had done some experiments on the basis of inheritance, or else we can also call it as the laws of inheritance. That we will continue the next class. Okay, thank you.